Hello and welcome to my video. For those that don't know me, welcome. My name is Becky, and for those that have watched me before, welcome back. So I am here with my January update. I don't have any haul. I haven't bought anything in January. No, I haven't bought anything in January. Had to think about it then for a second. Nothing cross stitch related anyway. I have 7 projects, and then I have 1 knitting project and 1 other new craft that I'm going to lock my chair before I start so I can't keep swinging on my chair. So yeah, I'm just going to get straight into it and go straight in with what I worked on. They're in no particular order. I will put on the screen what things will look like when they're finished and where they were before I started, like at the beginning of the year. But yeah, so I've worked on 6 pieces with my whip gun. I met my goals on all of them, and then the other piece was just one that I was trying to get some stitches on. So I think I'm going to start with that one, and it is, which I'm actually really pleased about because I've finally worked on it, my twilight tree. So I've been kind of working over here, just filling in some of the colours, picking a colour, doing a few threads. So I've probably a few hundred stitches in, maybe 400 at most, not a lot. And please don't mind my nail polish, it's all chipped. I do need to take it off at some point today. But yeah, I have just last night changed this one to, instead of 2 over 1 full cross, to 4 over 1 tent, because I just feel like I'm never going to get it done because I'm not used to working in tent stitch. When I do full cross, progress just seems so slow. So I'd been getting like maybe 60-70 stitches on it a night. I changed to the 4 over 1 tent. I did like 250 stitches last night. So hopefully this one will now definitely be a finish this year. Fingers crossed. Now, I'm in no particular order of what I worked on them. The next one is Long Dog Sampler, Death by Cross Stitch. I think I just had kind of up to here done, so I've done kind of all this bit here. But obviously I'll put on the screen where it's at. That's that one. And I mean, this is a huge piece. This was my first ever Long Dog Sampler, and it's still the only one I've done. The only one I've actually got. But it's obviously a leap year, and this I think I was stitching the last leap year, but I wouldn't have been kind of like on Instagram in at the sales hashtags and things like that. So I think now my plan so far is to start 2 new long dogs on the leap year. One will be, I think, Castles in the Air, which I'll have a 4-year goal on to get it done by the next leap year. And then the other one is Saga, which is even bigger than this one. And I mean, let me just show you the size of this fabric. It's huge. I can't even, like, I'm almost as far back as I can go and I can't even fit it all in. It is huge. So yeah, my other one is Saga, and I am thinking about starting that one, but now I did write down how many stitches it is. Let me just grab my notebook and I'll let you know. Right, no, I don't have the full stitch count because obviously it's not listed anywhere, but I'm just looking. It is 389 wide by 504 stitches long, so it's quite a big piece. And I mean, although it isn't full coverage, I'll put a picture up on the screen of what it looks like. Although it isn't full coverage, it is pretty dense stitching, so it is going to be quite a high stitch count. And I mean, this one is, I could just grab, I haven't got my iPad, not my iPad, my tablet. 2 seconds, let me just find this. So I've just looked there. So depth by cross stitch is 363 by 447, and sag is 389 by 504. So it's I mean, it's not massively bigger, but it's definitely bigger. So I think I'm going to do that on like an 8-year, kind of an 8-year goal. Probably not even get done in the 8 years, knowing me, but that's what it is. And this is on an 18 count Ada. This one I believe is also an 18 count. The next one, so anything that is in pattern keeper is 1,000 stitches goal. So this has had 1,000 stitches. Anything that's not in pattern keeper has 3 days. So this is, can I do that without the glare? Kind of. Fairy Tales from Mirabilia. This is probably the one I got the least done on. Okay, now we'll put a picture of where it was before. Let me just fold that up. So I still haven't got a lot. We do have a little face now, because I think before, all I had before was this little bit here and a tiny bit up here. So I have done a bit, but not loads on that one. And again, I will put in where it was before. That is the one I got least on, but that was the one I was kind of working on going back to work the week I went back to work from Christmas. So I was tired and everything and just trying to get back into a routine. So that's why that one didn't get as much as the others, even though it still had its 3 days. Oh, and the next one is Blue Geisha from Joan Elliott. Again, this one had 3 days, but I actually got quite a good bit of progress on this one. Or it feels like I got a good bit of progress anyway. So that, all I had before was some of this blue here. I didn't even have all of it. So all the rest of it I've done. This is, obviously if you could see the umbrella. I'm saying umbrella, maybe there's a proper name for them. Maybe there's a different name, a proper name for them. I'm not sure, but that's where I got to on that one. I was really impressed with my progress on that one actually. And now I'll go on to my next one. I'll do my full coverage last. So again, this is another one that got 3 days because I've got it a paper chart. Now this is Chopping Wall from the Witchy Stitcher. This is obviously a stitch along. I didn't start during the stitch along. I bought it since the stitch along has finished, but I have now finished that first block, fully completed, back stitch and everything. So I think next time, I'm obviously working on the borders. I think next time I pull this out, I'll start on, I don't know. I don't actually know. I can go up to the top because obviously it's the border, but there's also things up in the border. I could go either side or I could either go down. So I think actually when I pull that one out next, I'll just have a look at the pattern and see where I fancy going with that. So then the next two are my full coverage. They're obviously both in pattern keeper. So they both got 1,000 stitches each. The first one is, why can't I remember what that is? Let me just check. The Pirate's Life. Wow. This one is Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and this one obviously got 1,000 stitches in. Okay, so I'm doing, everything's kind of, I believe this, everything's backwards. I believe this was done on the diagonal, so I literally just had the tiniest little corner, I think maybe 50 stitches or something in, 50, 100 stitches, something like that. So I've done, yeah, 1,000 stitches added to that one. And then this is the one I worked on the most because I worked on this one as part of my whip go goal, so 1,000 stitches. But I actually put, so I've set my whip go goal at 1,000 stitches for pieces like that weren't kind of in the method that I like to work in. but anything in the method I like to work in is going to get 1,200 stitches because of the way I work in 20 by 20, so it's 400 stitches. So if I do 800, it's not enough, so it's going to be 1,200 because I won't put them away with a block half complete unless I've run out of a colour. But yeah, this is my Once Upon a Fairy Tale. This is supersized max colour, and this got a total of 2,000 stitches into it this month. And this awful lantern, I nearly gave up. Very nearly gave up. It was absolute confetti hell. Like, there's so many colours in there where it was just one stitch, and then it's not used anywhere else on the page or even in the next page. So, I mean, you can see a lot of these here are my little thread tails where I've ended my thread. But yeah, I was really happy to get as much progress done on this one as I did. And I think, even though it's not on my whip go again, I think I'd like to keep pulling this one out and try and get the page finished, because this is the edge of the page here, and I think possibly, let me just work this out. Yeah, and this block here where I have all my part threads, which will be the next block I work, once this one's done, that'll be the bottom of the page. So I've got like 3,000 and actually, let me just work this out. No, I've got 4,000 stitches left to get the page finished. So the page is half done. I've got 4,000 stitches in it. It's 4,000 and there's 4,000 left to do. So I'm halfway through the page. So I think I want to keep, because I'm always going to have time, unless I get a particularly busy month, I'm always going to have time at the end of the month to work on a project of my choice. I think I'd like to keep pulling that one out and getting the page finish on it. Just so like I actually maybe finish it sometime in my life. Right, I'm now going to go on to I'll show you my knitting first. Let me just grab this. So this is actually in a bag I made. Now it's not perfect. It was actually just a trial run, because I was making my mum's a knitter, a really good knitter actually, and really fast knitter, not like me, as you'll see in a moment. So this was kind of my trial run before I made one for Christmas. Now this is the Grace cardigan from Jane Richmond. I've probably been making this on and off for the last 4 years. I've restarted it 4 or 5 times. I've also stopped halfway through a row, which is obvious, but it's going to make it, obviously, because that's just what I do, but it's going to make it really awkward to show you. Let me just see if I can do this without actually knocking anything off the needles. Sorry. So yeah, this is obviously the back of the cardigan. Sleeves are obviously on holders. And then the front. But I'm into the waist decreases now. But yeah, I mean, considering I've been in this on and off for 4 years, it's kind of ridiculous. It's because sweaters, I'm so much quicker at making sweaters than I am cardigans, because I knit sweaters in the round, so I don't have to do any purling. Don't like it. Can't stand it. Just annoys us. And so that's why that's been left in the half a row, because I've done the row across, knitted across, come halfway back and just like, no, I can't bother to do this anymore. So yeah, but I am onto the waist decreases on that, and I would like to try and work on it some more, because actually it's not a thick cardigan and it would be nice to have. I mean, I don't think it's very spring-like colours, it's more autumn though. Autumn actually might be a good goal to finish it by, but we'll see. And I am finding myself actually, I'm not knitting as much as I used to. Socks, I'm primarily a sock knitter, blanket knitter, that thing, kind of thing. I do have so many projects on the go, crochet as well, crochet blanket, but I'm just not working on them at the moment. And I think I don't know, because I've mentioned this before, I go through phases. So at the moment, I'm all about cross stitch. Everything's cross stitch. I'm getting all my goals done. Sewing, I haven't done any sewing this month, but I do have plans. I have got fabrics and things. And actually, I am going to do a different video in regards to my sewing. I'm going to do that as a separate video because it'll be a bit longer. But I do have a new hobby that I decided to add into the mix. I still don't know how I feel about it, but I'm going to show you. And that is adult paper by numbers. Now, I don't know what made me search. Just one day, I just thought, I'm going to see if they do paper by numbers for adults. I don't know why. I still don't know what came across. So, yeah, this is where I'm at on that. I mean, I probably went a bit big, and this has got some really, really tiny little spaces and squares and things. Squares, not squares, because it's not cross stitch, is it? Tiny little numbers. So I don't know what made me do that. But yeah, I am going to get the picture to show you what it'll look like. Now, it only comes with a teeny tiny little picture, but that is what it'll look like when it's finished. This I just got off Amazon. I searched on Amazon. So it's probably, so I'm not going to link it or anything like that. But obviously me threw myself into it, Googled Facebook groups, the lot, and you can actually get some websites where they do sell licensed artwork. So if I decide to do any more, if I decide I do like it, I will probably look into that, because obviously, like with cross stitch, I would prefer to use licensed. Yeah, like I say, I don't know how I feel about it. I know it's my first time on. I haven't done any painting other than like house decorating since I was at school, and I wasn't very good at it then. And it is, obviously you can see here, patchy in places and over here. Now, it might just be, obviously I might do some more and think, actually, I really like it. But, so I will let you know how that goes. I did buy, it was a while ago, I did buy a new diamond painting, which, I don't know, my daughter became obsessed with diamond painting. She's actually really good. I mean, she's only 7, and she got like a little mini one, loved it, was obsessed with it. Next thing, she's on Amazon with I think it was birthday money, and she's ordered 6 big, like, full size. In fact, I think I'll show you on like quite decent size ones. This is obviously stitch, but she's actually really good, and she's quite fast. She's got more done on this than I've got done on a diamond painting I've had for like 5 years. But I don't know, there's something about diamond painting that I just think it's just so, I don't know. I don't know. And it's something I'd really like to get into, but I just don't find myself gravitating to it. I still bought myself a new one, but it's sat there. I think it was her. I was like, oh, that's something we could do together. But actually, if she wants us to sit with her, most of the time she doesn't even want me to sit with her. She just wants me to set it up, set her away, get a colour out for her, and she'll just sit on her own. She can sit for hours and just sit and do it. And even I find, even if she does want me to sit with her, I'll grab my cross stitch and I'll do that rather than my diamond painting. But I do have one. Maybe I'll start that and try and give that a go again. But yeah, like I say, any other plans for this? Plans for February. So with quote again, I'm hoping. Let me just do my little notebook on my car. I'm hoping I can meet all my goals again. Now, meeting my goals 2 months in a row would be like just unbelievable. Like, that's never happened. But let's see if we can make it. So for my full coverage, so the whip go numbers this month were 3 and 20, for February were 3 and 24. So Tower Town 2, 1,000 stitches. That's still on the diagonal, so I probably will do exactly 1,000 stitches, maybe a little bit more, give or take, depending on where that diagonal lies. And then number 24 is Cozy Winter Evening, which is a mini one. and that will also get 1,000 stitches. That one I've just started in December, so it would be nice to actually get some progress on that because I've only got 400 stitches in it at the moment. For my fancy ladies, it's fairy iridescence, and only fairy iridescence because that's number 3 and number 24 on my Whip Go board. And then for like my non-general everything else kits, non-full coverage, number 3 is Halloween at Hawker and Hollow, which I'm so happy about because it's one of my favourite pieces. And the other one is Princess Mermaids from Soda Stitch. Princess Mermaids I've got on here as 3 days, but I believe that it's in Pattern Keeper. I do think I've got that one in Pattern Keeper. So if it's in Pattern Keeper, it'll be 1,000 stitches. Obviously, Hawker and Hollow 3 days. Fairy Iridescence will get 6 days. So yeah, that is my plans for February. Any other plans I have are kind of for sewing, like garment sewing, quilt and things like that. So I think I'm actually going to do a separate video on that because I just think it's going to be a longer video and I think it's going to be easier to do it separate. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will hopefully be back again at the end of February with even more completed goals. I hope you all have a wonderful month, and I'll hopefully be back soon. Thanks for watching.